Everybody, what are we solving for? First thing you should do. First thing you should do. What are you solving for? Identify it. Because I don't care how much or how little you think you know. Anybody can point out the goal of the question. Here, the goal, it says solve for y. Great. I know what I'm looking for. With that said, let's see what we have. If I zoom on in over here, I have x plus y equals 44 on top, and then we have x minus y equals 22 on the bottom. So now that we're looking at this, well, my next question is, okay, how can I work with this? How can I work with this? And Kyrie, even though you solved for x, let's see what we can do to bounce back from that. So just like in the previous question, we know that we can add equations together, we can subtract equations, we can multiply equations together if we want to. We can do whatever we wanted. Anything we wanted, we can do. So let's go ahead and show this. The reason that we would add these equations together, the reason that that would be advisable is because when we go ahead and add the x's together, what happens, everybody? X plus x equals what? Yeah, x plus x equals 2x. But what happens over here with the y again? Let's just go through those motions again. We have y plus negative y, which is the same thing as saying y minus y. What happens there? Right, it cancels out. It cancels out. So that's no dice there, goodbye. And then we have 44 plus 22. 44 plus 22 is what? It's going to give us 66. And we're good. So remember, the point of using or utilizing both of those equations is to just talk about one variable at a time. If you're talking about two things at the same time in math, guys, it's math. We have a hard enough time talking about one thing. Why do we want to talk about two? So now that we have the conversation about just x, we can figure out what x is, and then we can use that to get y. But let's just figure out what x is, and then use that clue to get us back to y. So everyone, what we'll do here, just like in the previous questions, we have 2 times x, so we'll divide 2 on both sides to get rid of the 2, leaving us with x equals 33. So again, my party people, just to remind you, 33 is not the answer. I know you're looking at B over here, you're thinking, man, I just got 33, I'm really nervous, I think that's the answer. Pause. Ask yourself, hey, what did I get? I got 33. What does that represent again? X. Was I looking for X? No, I'm looking for Y. So what I need to do next is plug this in. Plug it back in and solve for Y. Yes or no, does that make sense, everybody? 33 is not the answer because we need to use the 33 because it's X to find Y. Does that make sense? I'm really teaching you the fundamentals, the foundations of systems of equations, because once these problems start getting more difficult, you'll see exactly why these fundamentals will play in no matter what scenario you're dealing with. So plug it back in, solve for Y, and here we go. I'll go ahead and take the first equation. Again, either one works. I'll just take the first one. So x plus y equals 44. I'll plug in the x equals 33. So 33 plus y equals 44. Again, everybody, we just essentially have a 33 just added there, just sitting there. To get rid of something that's just sitting there, we subtract. So 33 minus 33, we'll take 33 away from both sides. Once we do that, here's what we get. A cancellation on the left and y equals 11 on the right. And we're good. We have 11 right here, down at the bottom, and there's our answer. And just to prove to you that this all should be totally fine, makes total sense, watch this. I'll grab the x is 33, the y is 11. Everyone, what does this say up here? X plus y is supposed to equal what? X plus y is supposed to equal what? It's supposed to equal 44. Let's just plug those right back in. 33 plus 11. Is that 44, everybody? Does that check out? Yeah, that absolutely checks out. We added them together. We got 44. Yep, we're good. Well, what about the other equation? x minus y equals 22. Well, let's do it. 33 minus 11, what's that going to be? 22. Again, both equations are true. All the equations are just a description about the relationships between the numbers. So x plus y means add them together and you get 44, subtract them and you get 22. That's a math riddle if I just put it into words. So all you're really doing is just solving a math riddle with logic. That's really all you're doing. So with that, who can guarantee me that they'll get this next question correct? I guarantee you it's the same structure. Who here can guarantee me that they'll get the next one right? Yeah? Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Here we go. Let's get the timer up. Let's have a good time starting. So here's another question, and it says, hey, if the sales tax is 8%, how much is the tax? So when we check out this problem here, everyone, the request is very direct. How much is the tax? So right there. Quick question. I have to ask it. Did that question statement ask us for the final amount? Yes or no? Yeah, the answer to that question is going to be no. We are specifically asking for how much the tax was. We're not asking how much the television is at the end of the day. No, we're asking how much the tax on the television is. I know this seems repetitive, but we have to practice this if we expect success moving forward. I got your back, guys. So here we go. We want the tax specifically, and here are the details of the problem. Originally, the TV, it's $450. The sales tax, percentage of the tax, is going to be 8%. So if we follow our formula, percent P multiplied by the original amount equals our result, R. And don't forget, with our formula, this is what makes it easy, the percent and the result, they represent the same thing. The percent that you plug in is the result that you get out. So what does that mean? Guess what? If I plug in that 8% for the tax, again, this represents the tax. That means that my result represents the tax. And guess what? Because we're looking specifically for that tax amount, we know that our setup is correct. One more time, if you're the kind of person who gets nervous before they start calculating because you're wondering if you set it up properly, this is where the money is. You want to be confident, so your setup always comes first. So with that, all we're going to do here is take that 8%, multiply it by the original amount, which is $450, and that's going to get us our answer. So before we get started with the multiplication itself, we have to convert. So 8%, when we convert that, move that decimal twice. So we go 1, 2. And just a reminder, everybody, when we have a gap, what number is that again? Yeah, that'll be a 0. So we have 0.08 multiplied by 450. And that's going to put us in a good position here. So let's go ahead and work on that. 450 multiplied by 0.08. So here we go. 0 times 8, that's 0. 5 multiplied by 8, that'll be 40. And we'll carry that 4. And then from there, we have 4 times 8, which is 32. Carry that 4, and that'll be 36. So this looks like 3,600, but remember, what we do at the end is we bring those decimals back. So that's 2 of them there, 2 of them right there, and there we go. Our answer here will be $36. And again, because we set up our formula properly, we had this done the right way. So the tax on this television is $36. There we are. That is answer choice B.